All right, good morning everyone and welcome. My name is Stephanie Delgado and I am the Education Manager here with Hay Software Systems. You probably have heard me speak before. Definitely there is a lot that I do that hopefully is helpful and beneficial to you. I am the individual that kind of creates and uploads information into our support center. Some of that may be videos and so forth, as well as deliver trainings, and then of course these enhancements for you. So for today, we do have a lighter kind of release, but I think they are going to be some impactful items that will be beneficial. A portion of this morning will definitely be in the admin kind of view. We'll be looking at actually being able to issue to staff from the admin view, and I do believe this is one that many have kind of been interested in for a while. The other item is maybe a smaller one, but I think that it's impactful in kind of creating some ease of use for you as an individual who's going in and potentially initializing inventory into a room. You have a capability to undo when you have actually either scanned or entered in a tag number, where previously it wasn't quite that easy to undo and you'd have to kind of do some reworking. So just those two items today, but of course I'm always open to additional questions, maybe even not related to the enhancements, but we'll get through those first and then I'll kind of open it up for Q&A so that I can help address any additional questions you may have about the enhancements or anything else. So hopefully that sounds okay. And with that, actually, in the bottom left-hand corner, as I mentioned earlier, there is a chat window. Please at any time still go ahead and put in your comments or even questions. You know, I do appreciate it when this is a more interactive session, right? The best that we can be when I can, you know, see the chat. I can't hear you, but you can hear me, right? All right, everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and get started by sharing my screen. Thank you. I got it. Sounds good. Okay, here we go. Now, of course, I am already logged in. Just to recap, I'm logged in this morning as a admin, so I'm in the admin view. And where we will get started this morning is with that capability to issue to staff members. Definitely previously, there was the piece where you'd have to, if you were an admin, you'd have to switch over to a campus location to be able to then distribute to staff members. Now, of course, kind of during the new teacher onboarding with districts at the beginning of the year where potentially assets are in a centralized location, where they may have to pick items up, or maybe there might be a different location than where they are currently assigned to. Maybe the tag or the asset is kind of living on another location at that point. You now have the capability at the admin view to do a couple of things. One is, of course, assign an asset to a staff member, and this could be anywhere within the any staff member within the district. But then additionally, when you assign a tag, you'll see when we actually go in and look at the feature that you'll be able to specify if the staff member is on more than one site. So, you know, our training kind of database, we have what we call Learning Campus. So let's say that I have a staff member who's on Learning Campus, as well as another campus, which for one of ours is Charles Bailey. And so I can actually decide that which site the asset will be kind of issued to for that staff member. So we'll walk through that so it makes a little bit more sense than maybe what I just may not have done a great job at doing. No. All right, so here we are on the admin view. It's going to be under Admin Tools, Issue to Staff right here. And this should look very similar to or pretty much identical to what you have seen previously when you are on the site view. When it comes up, I will need to specify a staff ID. Now with this, there's a couple of things. If I happen to know the staff ID or if I want to scan it, I can definitely do that. I'm going to go ahead and type in. So it starts to hone in on the information that I'm inputting. The individual that I'm going to be issuing to is Nile. So you see that I actually have Nile here twice. She is at my Learning Campus as well as at my Charles Bailey High School. So I get to make a decision on which campus I'm going to be issuing additional assets to her at. Now, if I happen to not know the staff ID, I can always use my handy binoculars that are over to the right of the field, and I'll click those to search, and I'm going to look for Nile, which I love this feature that that's just where I can, search for an individual a little quicker here. So I have two for Nile again, the exact same information. I can decide, do I want this asset to be issued to her at Learning Campus or Charles Bailey? And so I'll go ahead and say Learning Campus. I can enter in a due date as previously I was able to do on the site view. And here's my little calendar if I wanted to put a due date, and the little lock if I was going to issue more than one asset to her, and my little refresh icon or reset. So here I'm going to go ahead and add in a tag number. Let me make sure I have one that is correct for Learning Campus. So for today's purposes, I'll just go ahead and hand enter, but most likely I'm sure you're using scanners, right? I can click enter, or I can go ahead and click the little diskette to save. And you'll see right away that I have the asset. It's a compact tablet for Nile, tag 3002, and it's in use. And it's showing room 507. I had a great question. Is this assuming that the tag is already at the destination school? Yes, the current scenario is. Let's go ahead and test it, though, if the asset is not at the current campus. You are kind of presetting me for my next steps. So thank you for that question. All right, so let's go ahead and test that. So I had Nile, I chose Learning Campus, and I issued to Learning Campus, correct? Now let's go ahead and say that I chose Nile, and I did Charles Bailey, and let me go ahead and select her. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and do a tag that is actually at Charles Bailey. I'm sorry, Learning Campus. Make sure I get that correct, right? And I'm going to go ahead and click to save. All right. So there's a couple things that are happening here. Yes, they are being issued to Nile, as you see here. I have 3004. Interesting. Okay. So this is where it does, I will tell you, gets a little where you have to be cautious. So remember, I chose Charles Bailey, and I chose a tag for Learning Campus, right? So that was my 3004. So you'll see here I have my 3004 for Learning Campus, and this one actually I did earlier today as I was kind of testing and prepping for the session and getting things ready. So you don't see the 3002, correct? All right, so now let's go in and look at what it looks like on each side, the Charles Bailey as well as the Learning Campus. This is definitely what I wanted to show you this morning, is that whatever campus that you issue to is what you're going to see when you go to that campus. So I'm going to go ahead and close, click Done. I'll start by going to Charles Bailey. And that also plays into account with my reporting as well. So whatever campus that I issue to, when I go to that campus and I am going to maybe pull a distribution receipt or a transaction report, I will see those items that are issued to Nile for that specific site. I'm going to go ahead and go into staff. And I need to find Nile. Here she is. Okay, so as you probably know, you still will be able to see everything under inventory that is issued to Nile across my district. Great, right? I do appreciate that. Now, I do have the capability also to run my product distribution receipts from each of those specific products, as you see here. So here's my 3002. It's for Learning Campus. And then I also have the 3004, which was for Charles Bailey. And so I can come here and pull the reports for my Charles Bailey here. So as you see, I have reports for Charles Bailey for the 3004, as well as the 3025, which I did earlier today. And then those are actually a little bit older as well. If I pull one of these reports, it will be for that specific product. Now, I also have the capability to pull the transaction receipt report for Nile kind of on her actual transaction line here. This will show only for Charles Bailey because that is the site I am currently on. So you'll see here for Nile specifies Charles Bailey, and it has the 3004 as well as the 3005 from earlier today for this specific transaction receipt. Now, if I go to Learning Campus, I have to learn how to spell. There we go. All right, so now I'm at Learning Campus. Here's Nile right here. Again, we're going to see the entire list of those assets that are issued to her, potentially even those that have been lost. But you'll see a difference here. Now is the tags that are here at Learning Campus that I can run an individual report for. So I'll just show that. I didn't show it last time, just so you can see. So this should look familiar. Here's the distribution receipt. Here's that 3002. But that is all that we see, of course, because it's for that specific product. And then if I go and run that report, it will be for the products that are here on the Learning Campus, as you see. Now, what if you do want to know or print a report that shows everything for Nile, right? Well, because she has several things issued out to her and even lost. As an admin, you can, of course, go to the tags page. Go ahead and go to tags. And there's several ways, of course, you can get this information. Let's just pretend that I'm going to go ahead and do my Charles Bailey real quick, as well as my Learning Campus. There we go. And I'm going to say location of staff. So I'm going to do some advanced filtering just so that we can hone in on Nile. Again, you could do just all the staff for those specific locations, but so we can see what this looks like. I need location here. I'm going to go ahead and just say contains. I'm going to put her name in, and I'll click go. So now I have in my grid those assets that are have the location of staff with Nile in it. And you can see my site name. I do have Charles as well as Learning Campus. So a report that's going to be helpful is going to be my tag listing report. So I click that. It'll just take a second. Here we go. Pop that open, and it might open in the other screen. Great. Okay. So, of course, with many of our reports, the data is whatever I have filtered down to within our grid. So as you see here, I actually have those assets that are at some point have been issued to Nile or have the location of Nile. There's the one that's lost, right? But the rest are in use. It gives me my tag number, my serial, if there is one, product information. So you're used to this report, I'm sure. But this is a great way if you did need to kind of do a listing of all of the assets across the district that are in some way, issued to that individual, even if they're lost, stolen, that sort of thing. That was a great question. Do I have any other questions? That's pretty much the feature. Is just that now you have that capability to issue to across the district, and you can issue tags that are across the district as well. What I want to kind of reiterate is the one thing is that it will create a transfer. So if you noticed, I'll do one more for Nile just so we can see her. No, it's not going to give me that. Hold on a second here. I thought it'd make it easy for me. Here, I'll do another one. So Learning Campus, let me go and pull another tag to T9175. There we go. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you. So you'll see here that of Nile, this one came from Charles Bailey, but I had selected Learning Campus. So because of that, it actually puts it on a transfer and transfers it over to my Learning Campus and transfer 5159. So then if we go to T9175, just thinking for me. Great. So you'll see it specifies Learning Campus here now. And then if I go to, and it's, of course, issued to Nile. If I go to Status History, great. This is what's a big piece that I really appreciate about this. It actually shows me status of transfer. The source was Learning Campus, admin view issued to staff. So Learning Campus destination transfer was 5159. Of course, the scan date, and as well as who conducted this. And then it is now in use from the transfer. Again, it's going to specify that it came in the admin view issued to staff, and it's at Learning Campus and issued to Nile Adcock. I have a question. Let's see here. If a teacher is moving to a different school, can you issue it this way? Do you have to collect it first? It has to be in the status of available, just like with, if you issue to staff, those assets have to be in the status of available. So as long as, the concept for the most part, one of the user stories, of course, is that it's the beginning of the year, you have maybe new assets that you are going to be issuing out to your staff members, but they will need to be collected, so it won't do like a collect and a transfer as well. But it does do the transfer for you, which I think is pretty helpful, right? So you could have assets that are at the central location, so maybe you have kind of like a receiving room that you kind of hold everything until you actually transfer them over to the campus. And in the past, you'd transfer potentially to the campus, and then you'd have to issue to the staff members. Well, this does both steps for you in one, so I think that's pretty handy. Great. I'm glad you like the feature. I have an additional question. Do we have to accept the transfer at the new site? Nope, you do not. It actually just completes the transfer for you because it's from the admin view. It's kind of like the quick transfer concept of if you're in the admin view, you do quick transfer, it's just complete. You don't have to go through all those additional kind of approval steps. We're trying to make things a little easy for you, right? Thank you for those questions, by the way. Do you have any additional regarding this? And there was a lot of pieces to that, I know, because it's like, okay, well, what if, I'm on this campus, and I'm trying to issue tags from another and so forth. So hopefully I covered that well for you this morning. I definitely suggest getting in there and testing it out a little bit to see if, your specific scenarios. And then if you find anything cool, I always love to hear from you. I have a comment. Correct. This is only from the district admin view. And so previously you could do the issue to staff members only at the site view. So you could be a site admin, you could be a, but it would be from the site view. But this feature is now I'm at the admin view, and I have the capability under admin tools to, thinking for me, issue to staff here. So it's a completely new kind of feature for the admin view instead of having to view switch over. And then you're able to do a bit more because as we were just seeing, you can actually issue tags that are on different sites versus what the actual staff member is on. Great question. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to continue on. Remember, you can always ask additional questions. So I will move on to our next feature, which this is a quick one. And this is more about kind of easeability. It's where you are able to click an undo option as you are in a room initializing. So I'm going to go ahead and go to a site. I'll go ahead and go to our Learning Campus. All right, and this will be under Rooms. And when I'm in Rooms, I will choose the room that I would like to initialize to, so that's bringing in those new assets that are currently not within the application. So I'll go ahead and do our Room 1000. It's our virtual auction room. Under Actions, I have this cool little icon that has like an up arrow. If I select that, my Initialized Room Inventory window opens. So here, first thing I need to do is select a product number. I'm going to go ahead and do our 1030. Which is our Latitude 13. I need to add in my funding source. So I'll go ahead and just say General. I'm going to bring all of these in the status of available. And I do have a custom field for this specific product, so I do need to enter that. There we go. If I wanted to, I could remember this information if I was going to be bringing in several of these specific assets. And then here, of course, I need to scan in my tag. This morning, just as a reminder, I am just hand entering. So I'm going to go ahead and just say that tag number, click enter, or I can click the save icon, which is that little down arrow. All right away I noticed something, an orange icon here. This may look familiar to you. You've probably seen it throughout the application. But this is your kind of undo. Audits is one area that you may see it, the kind of back arrow. So this is to undo, because as you see here, I'm now locked in. I do not have the capability to edit the tag field. So sometimes we might print out a list of barcodes that we are going to be bringing into the application, or maybe have several assets kind of stacked, and I accidentally selected or scanned the wrong tag. And there's, of course, other ways that you can get around this. I could definitely come in here and I could do a complete reset of the page, but then I'd need to come and fill this information out again. I just, for simplicity's sake, I don't want to have to do that. I also could even go to the extent of clicking done and restarting, coming and clicking my initialize icon under actions. So this one is just about kind of streamlining and simplifying your day. And so I can just as easily say undo. And all it does is undo or refresh my tag field. Everything else stays. So then I definitely can come back in here, and maybe it's 7, let's say, that I needed, and then go ahead through my normal scenarios. If I needed to do serial number, I could as well. If not, since I'm not scanning, I'll have to just click my save icon, the little diskette, and you see that now my item has been initialized into my Learning Campus Room 1000, and so here's my tag. And of course, I could always fully delete as well, and then I'd have to start over again, right? So that's just, you'll see that there's several ways that I could have gone about having to delete or whatever, but then it's more work on me. So this here is just that capability to be able to undo quickly so you can continue on with that initializing, because most likely you may be doing several at a time, right? And that is the Initialize Room Inventory Undo feature. Do I have any questions on that? Any comments? No? Okay. Well, everyone, those are our 2 features for 9.2. This was a slimmer one. They definitely will probably have more for us here very soon. But I think that those 2 were just kind of ones that we've gotten a lot of kind of requests for. And so we want to make sure that we are always adding those features or kind of upgrading areas to make your lives a little easier. So I'm going to go ahead and stop. All right, great. Well, and then just as a little reminder, you can always go out to our support center to get kind of more details on those enhancements. So as you see it under the web links, which is at the kind of bottom center of your screen, if you click on those and browse to, you'll be able to go and kind of take a look at the enhancements for 9.2 as well as any of our other enhancements. All right, everybody. Well, if I do not have any additional questions, I'm going to go ahead and move to close this session for this morning. And just please remember, you have unlimited technical support with Hays. You can reach out to us at our 800 number as well as support@haysoft.com. And that's not just for you, but anyone within your district. There is no cap on how much we will, be there to help you. So thank you for spending your time with me this morning, and I look forward to our next session. Have a great day.